So a while back, before the release of Street Fighter 6, your boy Rising Sun and I went to the Street Fighter 6 exhibit, or Street Fighter exhibit. This was held in Osaka. Some really awesome, beautiful works, full-sized panels, a lot of art and description, unfortunately, or fortunately, the way you want to slice it, in Japanese. And it was just such a refreshing and great sort of like exhibit to go through, especially if you're a fan of Street Fighter and all the amazing artists and designers that have worked on the series since, let's just say, Street Fighter 2, because that's when the series developed its series style. Their artists have their work up there, like Akiman and, of course, Kinu. And so it was really, really cool to sort of like go through each character. What they had was like each character with a life-size profile that you can measure up against, some key artwork of their most famous stuff, some actual original colored sketches, some concept art done for... It felt like primarily Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 3. That's where the bulk of the artwork came from, which is a really good thing, because personally I think that's when the series hit its artistic peak in terms of like concept art and design. It really hit those strides, and of course 4, 5, and now even 6 are just polish and iterations and a little bit of modification, all based on these groundbreaking works from Street Fighter 2 and 3. It was really, really fantastic. You got to see some really cool stuff. Right now we're looking at some stuff of the Great Guile. You got to get into, like, they have these panels on the site. You see, like, it'll tell each character's likes, dislikes, their hobbies, even their blood type. I was really surprised to find out that Ryu is afraid of spiders, apparently. So he must really hate Juri. And of course there's some concept stuff that kind of, like right here with Blanca, where it's depicted of him having a family, and it's like really, really cool, deep insights into the world of Street Fighter. I didn't know that E Honda was Edmund Honda, so that was a cool little tidbit. Rising Sun, Tony, you were with me. How did you feel about this entire thing?
I thought this thing was so cool, even though some of these poses were, especially on Cammy, just a little bit risque. I was really surprised they even put this artwork out there. You can definitely, if you pause the video, you'll see what I'm talking about. But seeing all of these different characters, like you mentioned, the heights, their profiles, getting a deeper, more intimate look at Street Fighter was really, really, really cool. And it helped me come to appreciate the series even more. I'm not the biggest fan, but I started to get more invested in all the characters when I learned a little bit more about their personality types. Like Mr. Not Mike Tyson here. I know he's got a different name in the US, but yeah, he's M. Bison in Japan. And just kind of seeing these promotional shots like him in here, he's known as Vega. Just seeing how pure and evil this guy is. Again, it adds to the lore, and it helps people like me, maybe who aren't really deep into it, helps us understand it better. And also seeing how over the years Street Fighter's been really this collaborative effort of these different artists giving life to these characters. It was really, really, really cool. And honestly speaking, it's pretty cool because you really don't see stuff like this in the West very often, so it was definitely a treat.
And that's to say, like, there's a lot of stuff like this I wish we kind of had in North America. When we went to this exhibit, and I think it was like mid-afternoon to early evening, it was just like literally 3-4 people. It's kind of nice, it's kind of really magical to have that kind of stuff. I don't think we can have stuff like this in possibly Europe or North America. I don't know why. We could get into multiple reasons of like the collector mentality, or the Instagrammer, or like, YouTuber. Everybody thinks like they're gonna present something to the world, and then you have like a bunch of people with like cameras taking selfies and doing recording. So like we had to do this discreetly, even though you were allowed to bring out your phone, you were allowed to like record stuff. and it was really nice. And again, if we saw other people coming in and recording, we kind of paused and then let them go through and did our thing. Akuma is known as Goki, of course. The fans would know about that. It was really, really cool. That artwork over there where Chun-Li's poking Ryu and he's like crying and she's crying, but it looks like they're both crying in harmony, but actuality it's her bracelet that's like poking Ryu and he's kind of bleeding. It's one of the funniest panels I've saw. There's some really cool stuff of Cammy I saw. Some pretty risque artwork. If you're keen enough, you'll probably see it. Probably one of my favorite pieces of artwork done. The classic cheesecake pose. And then of course, like, look at the amount of detail they went into like designing the stages of Street Fighter 2 and even some stages from Street Fighter 3 or Third Strike, let's just say. Really, really cool stuff. There's a designer profile at the end, so you got to see names like Eri-chan, like all the people that were responsible for making these stages so unique, so impactful, and just some of the best full-size artworks near the end. Just like it's just amazing to be a part of this, and kind of made us appreciate Street Fighter 6 for more than just the next iteration. Made you appreciate that the team and everybody connected to the game is really honing in on what made the series so groundbreaking, so fun.
Seeing those original logo designs, the original character designs from Street Fighter 1, or at least the redone artwork for Street Fighter 1 was really, really cool. Now, I don't know if these are the original designs or redesigns, but either way, it's really awesome. And when you look up from that, you can see the production notes, the different arcade machines that they used, all the design documents and design notes that they had. I don't know if it's from the time, but it's a really interesting bit of insight that I wish developers would put out more. And then after that, you go out to the last bit, this lobby here, where there's art books for sale, you have t-shirts for sale, tons of merchandise, which of course we couldn't help but pick some things up ourselves. You had things like framed posters, and they aren't the cheapest thing in the world. If you're a real big fan of the artwork, you just have to at least pick one up. Me myself, I got some bits of stationery, which wasn't too expensive. Then you had this giant screen here where you could actually act out the Street Fighter 2 Destroy the Car minigame, and here's yours truly, really just putting everyone to shame. Perfect. And then walking past that, you have the Street Fighter 6 corner where they had some concept artwork for each of the characters. You had some new artwork, you had different designs, different posters, and they had a little demo test kit, PlayStation 5, that you could play the game on. But that wasn't all in terms of games, because then you had these cool, unique arcades with some different games like Street Fighter 2, you had Final Fight as well, but you also had this, which was absolutely hilarious. You would lose, and you would get your own custom, that's right, your own defeated face. But that's about it, really. Thank you so much for watching GPX Japan, and we'll catch you in the next one.